Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Learn How to Sudoku, where we take a very easy variant Sudoku puzzle and we break it down in detail so that you can learn how to Sudoku. Today's very easy puzzle is called A Bit of Fog Fun and it's by E. Biggie. And here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 through 9 in each row, column, and box. We also have German whisper lines, which are green, and they're very thin in this puzzle because I think the setter wanted to make a difference in for the colorblind people. So the thinner lines are the German whisper lines here, and the thicker lines are the other type of lines. But on a German whisper line, we have adjacent digits along a green German whisper line must differ by at least 5. Digits may repeat if other rules allow. So, for example, if this were a 3, this would have to be an 8 or a 9. It's because the only digits that are 5 or more away from 3 are specifically 8 and 9. So that's why this would have to be an 8 or a 9 here. And that's an example of how German whisper lines work. We also have 10 lines, which are the thicker gray lines, where each 10 line consists of one or more contiguous groups of cells, each of which sums to 10. These groups of cells cannot overlap, and every cell is part of exactly one group. Digits may repeat freely on lines and even within sums. So, for example, this is a 3 length 10 lines, so um, that's kind of already solving. But anyways, suffice it to say that this 3 length 10 line must add up to 10 by itself. And you cannot, again, they must be part, every cell that's on the 10 line must be part of a group of cells that sums to 10. And it can only be part of one group. So, as an example, you could have something like 3, 2, and 5 here, because those all add up to 10, and they're all part of a group that adds up to 10. But you can only be part of one of those. But that's an example of how 10 lines work. And this is the main reason why I actually chose this puzzle, because I saw that there was a 10 line in this puzzle. And 10 lines are starting to become more popular, more common in settings, but they're not that common. But it's just good to have introduction to these types of lines. Anyways, we also have Kropke dots, where black dots are in a 1 to 2 ratio, while white dots are consecutive. Not all dots are given. So, for example, if this were, say, a 6, this would have to be a 5 or a 7 to make sure that these digits are consecutive. If this were, say, a 2, this would have to be a 1 or a 4 to maintain the 1 to 2 ratio. And that's how Kropke dots work. We also have fog, where the grid is partially covered with fog. Correctly placed digits will remove the fog from the surrounding cells to reveal more clues. So say you placed a correct digit here. It would clear the fog in the cell and in the 8 surrounding cells around it, which would give you more information about the grid. And for our colorblind friends, the German whisper lines are thin and the 10 lines are thick. Some lines do overlap in the puzzle. Actually, yeah, I don't know how would colorblind people be able to distinguish between the green here and the gray. I'm not sure if they would be, but anyways, for example, this is a green German whisper line on top of a gray 10 line here. But I'm not sure if colorblind people could distinguish that. Anyways, those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's learn how to Sudoku. Okay, so the first thing is, okay, on a 10 line, you can never have it. Well, first of all, you can't have a set. Okay, so this is why I was saying this is kind of solving to start with. But you can never have a set um, on a 10 line, which is one cell long, right? They either have to be 2, 3, or 4 cells in length. Actually, it could be longer even because you could have repeats. But basically, the most common ones are 2 cells, 3 cells, and 4 cells. So if you ever try to have if you have a 3 length 10 line, you know that all 3 of those digits must add up to 10. Um, Therefore, this is on a German whisper line, though. So, you know, these 3 digits add up to 10. Because you can never have a breakdown of 2 and 1, right? Because one digit by itself can never add up to 10 in a normal Sudoku. And that's the reasoning why you know this has to be 3 digits all adding up to 10, is because you do have, you can't break it down into a 2 and a 1 split, right? So, what does that mean? Means these 2 digits must differ by at least 5. So it's either at least 1 6 or it could be 2 7 here. Either way, in this 10 cell, or this 10 line, sorry, you have to have a 1, right? It's either 1 6 with 3, it could be 1 7 with 2, or it's 2 7 with 1. So there has to be a 1 on this 10 line here. Which means the rest of the cells cannot contain, in this box, cannot contain a 1. These two are also separated, are adjacent digits on a German whisper line, but we don't know which ones. This is also, if this is a low, this would have to be a high. So this would be 6 or 8 if that's the case. If this is 6 or 7, it would have to be 1 or 2 here. But this cannot be 2. Actually, I guess it could be 2 if this is 4. What are the possibilities for this? Okay. This is in a 1 to 2 ratio. It could be 1 2 here, as long as this is 1 and that's 2. It could be 2 4 if either of them are 2 or 4. It could be 3 6 if this is 3 6 or 4 8. So those are the possibilities. These, again, so it could be 1 2 if it's that way. But then this would be 3. And I don't think that's allowed, right? If this is 1, this is 2, obviously, because it's a 1 to 2 ratio. The 1 is only in a 1 to 2 ratio with 2. But then this would have to be 3. And the 2 and the 3 would eliminate all possibilities for this 10 line here, right? You can only have 1 2 7 or 1 3 6 here. So this cannot be 1 2 and 3 here specifically. And 1 can't be here. Well, it couldn't be here anyways, because if you had 1 and 2 with a 1 to 2 ratio, 1 can only be consecutive with 2 here. So that's not allowed. You could have 2 and 4 here, potentially. If this is 2, this would have to be 7. This could be... Okay, so... The question is, can this ever be 2 here? I don't think you can, right? If this is 4 2, and this can't be 1, obviously, because there's a 1 already in the box. If this is 3, that again eliminates 1 2 7 and 1 3 6 for the 10 line. And those are the only options. So that doesn't work if this is 2 and that's 3. But this could be 2 here, and this could be 4, which would make that a 3. Or this could be 5, either way. So this could work as long as this is 7, then you could have 1 and 2 here, and that works. Ah, But one of these digits must be low. And if one of those digits is low, it can never be 4, 3. So this could be 4, 5, and that works. Right. So if this is 2 and 4, this would have to be 5 because we would have this being a 7 because it's next to 2 on the German whisper line, and it can't be, it must add up to 10 with 2 other digits, which would be 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 would be here, this would be 7, this would be 4. We need another low here, and it would have to be 3. So 3 could not be here. Okay, so if it's 2, 4, 5, that works. If it's 3 and 6, if this is 3, that doesn't work. This can never be 3 here, so this can never be 6. Because if this were 3, the problem is none of 1, 2, 6, and 7 are 5 or more away from it. So you could have 6 here and 3 here, except that if you have a 3 here, obviously this can't be 1, 3, 6, so it's 1, 2, 7. But the problem is 3 can only be consecutive with 2 and 4. If this was 3 and 4, this is 1 and 2. There's no low left for this German whisper line. And, okay, specific point. On a German whisper line, you'll always alternate between low digits and high digits. The reason is because if you have a digit that's from 1 through 4, what digits can be next to it? A 4 can only have a 9 next to it, a 3 can only have an 8 or 9 next to it, a 2 can only have 7, 8, and 9 next to it, and a 1 can only have 6 or above next to it. So you'll always have next to a low digit, which is 1 through 4, a high digit, which is 6 through 9. But if you look at it the opposite way, what digits can be next to a 6 through 9? You'll find that you have to have the digits 4 and less, right? Because you take the highest digit, which is 9, subtract 5 or more from it, you get 4 or less. So you'll always alternate between low digits and high digits on a German whisper line. So this always requires a low digit here, which is why we could not have a 2 here or a 4 here with a 3. And this is the same reason why you can't have a 3 here, right? If you had a 3 here and this was a 4, we already have a 1, 2, 7 here. That accounts for all 4 low digits in this middle box. And therefore, there would not be a low available for these two cells, but we always alternate between low and high on the German whisper line. So one of these must be low then. So this cannot be 3, this can't be 6. This is 4 and 2 so far, and 5. You could also have 4 and 8. Either way, in this one, next to this black crop dot has to be a 4. And this cannot be 4 here. So if it's a 4, it always has to be here. And this is 4 with 2 or 4 with 8. So this is always 2 or 8 here, and this is a 4. And the 4 cannot be with 3, because again, we can only have, we have to have a low here. And there's 2 lows already here. There's already a 4. This is a low. So this can never be 4, and it can't be a low because of what we have in this box already. So this is 2 or 3, and it could be with 7, 8, or 9 here. And this has to be 6, 7, 8, or 9, because this is 4, and this has to be 5. So this is always 4, and this is always 5. Because of that, these are 3 digits adding up to 10. Well, if this is 8 and 4, you can never have it add up to 10. So therefore, this must be 6, which makes this a 3 to be in a 1 to 2 ratio. This 6 eliminates 6 and 3 as possibilities here. So this is a 1, 2, 7 triplet, which adds up to 10. This also must be a 1 here to add up to 10 on this 10 line. So this can never be 1 here. This can't be 2 or 7 because of this can't be 6 either, or 7, because of the 1, 2, 7 triplet in the box. And this can't be 3. So where is the 3 on this German whisper line? It has to be here. So this is 3. It's next to an 8 or a 9. This could still be 2 or 8 here. Um, hmm. This is 3 digits adding up to 10 also because of the same reasoning, right? You can't divide it into a set of 2 and a set of 1 because a set of 1 never adds up to 10. Um, so it could be 127, but except none of those digits can be 1, 2, or 7, so that doesn't work. It could be 136 though. That is still possible as long as this is 6, this is 3, and this is 1. It could be 145. So it could be 145, 145 as long as the 1 is here. And the other possibility is 2, 3, and 5. So this would be 3 or 5, this would be 2 or 3, and this would be 2 or 5 here. Well, 2 cannot be here because it would be next to 1 or 3, and those are both eliminated by these two cells. It could be 4 with 5, 5 with 4 or 6, or 6 with 5 or 7 here. So it's still possible to be 1, 3, and 6 here, 1, 4, and 5, or 2, 3, and 5 here. This digit is next to an 8 or a 9. So these are high. I like marking the highs and the lows on German whisper lines to be able to tell what to limit things, right? So this could be 1, 2, or 4 here. We don't know what these are. The low here, though, has to be a 2. There's 2 digits here. And one of them must be low, because, again, on a German whisper line, you alternate between lows and highs. And we know we already have a 1 and a 3 in the box, and we have a 4 in this row. So this must be a 2 here. So this can never be 2 in the rest of this row. It could be 2 with 7 or 2 with 8. Except that if you have 2 and 7 here, the problem is that doesn't add up to 10, right? And you would have to have a 1 to continue with that, but we already have a 1 in the box. So this cannot be 2 and 7. And you can't have, you could have 2, 9, but that doesn't add up to 10. And every cell on a 10 line must be in a set that adds up to 10. And if you had 2 and 9 here, the problem is either 2 would be by itself or the 9 would be by itself, right? As a set. Because they don't add up to 11, 10 by themselves. So this actually has to be a 2-8 pair. Because again, if this is 2, 7, it has to add up with another digit to add up to 10, at least. And that would have to be 1. But 1 is already in the box, so that doesn't work. Therefore, this is a 2-8 pair, which eliminates 2 and 8 in the rest of the row. This can't be 8. This must be 9, which makes this an 8. This cannot be a 4 anymore, so this is 1 or 2. Therefore, this is always in a 1 to 2 ratio here. So it must be 1, 2, or 4 here. But the 2 has to be one of these two cells, which eliminates 2 in the rest of the row. So this cannot be 2 here. Therefore, this is either 136 or 145. And therefore, this must be 1 no matter what. Therefore, this can't be 1. This is 2, which makes this a 4. Because that's the only one that's in a 1 to 2 ratio with 2 left over. This can't be 4, 5 now. This has to be 3 and 6 here. The 6 is next to a 5 or 7 to be consecutive. This 4 must be next to 9 on a German whisper line because that's the only digit that's possible. So this is a low also. This is a high. This must be low. And this must be high. So this could be 1 through 3. And this is 6 through 8. We're not sure which. Those are both on a 10 line, though. That's interesting. This is also on a 10 line, and it has 3 cells there. So therefore, it has to be all 3 of these must add up to 10. But you can have repeats here, except we're not likely to have it. Because what are the remaining digits in row 3? Well, we have 5, 7, and 8, technically, in the row. But in this box, we have a 5, 7, 8 triplet, which means the rest of the box cannot contain 5, 7, and 8. Where is the 8 going to be in this box? It must be one of these two cells, because it can't be in any of the rest of the cells because of the 5, 7, 8 triplet, and these are the only places where it could be 8. So this can never be 8 here. This could be 7 with 1 and 2. That's possible. This would be 1 and this would be 2 if that were the case. It could also be 5 with 1, 4, but 1, 4 can't work there. Or 2, 3. Okay, that doesn't work either. This has to be then 7, 1, 2, right? Because of the digits remaining, those are the only ones that can add up to 10. Right? You can't have 1, 4 because the 4 is here. The 1 has to be here if that's the case. If you tried to have 2 and 3, the problem is 3 is eliminated in both rows that this line is in. So that doesn't work either. So this must be specifically 7, 1, and 2. And therefore this can't be 1. This is 2, which makes that 7, which makes this 1. Therefore this must be 8 because it must be different from have a difference of at least 5 from 1. So this is 8. This is low. This is high. Actually, we don't even need that. That's not, well, whatever. This is high. This is low. This is high. This is low, which makes this next one a high. This can't be 1, so therefore this can't be 6 here. This can't be 7 because of the 7 here, and this can't be 7, actually. So this becomes a 5, 8 pair, which eliminates 5 and 8 in the rest of the box. So this can't be 5. This is 7. This can't be 7 then. This must be 8. 3 and 8 do not add up to 10. We need these two to add up to 10 because it's got to be part of a set that adds up to 10. So this must be 2. These two digits must add up to 10. Well, it can't be 1, 9, cannot be 2, 8, cannot be 3, 7. It must be 4 and 6 here. So this is a 4, 6 pair. That adds up to 10. Remaining digits in column 6 are 1, 5, and 7. Okay. This is a low, and it has to be next to an 8, and it cannot be 1 or 3. It must be 2 then. 4 is ruled out because of the 8. This must be 7 or 9 here. This cannot no longer be 2, so this is an 8, which makes this a 2. These two digits add up to 10. It cannot be 1, 9, because 1 and 9 is eliminated here. It cannot be 2, 8, because 2, 8 is eliminated here. It could be 3, 7. And it could be 4, 6 as long as this is the 4. So this is 2. This is a low. It's next to a high. So this is 7 or 9. Because 2 can only be next to 7, 8, or 9, and 8's already in the box, and 7 can't be here, so this must be 9 then. So this is 9. Remaining digits in row 5 are 4, 6, and 8, but this can't be 8 here, so this is 4, 6, and we have 4, 6, 8 here, 4, 6, 8 here. Well, 6 can only be next to 1 on a German whisper line, so this can't be 6. If this is 4, this 4 can only be next to 9 on a German whisper line. But this can't be 9 because of the 9 here. So this must be 8 then. This is 8. This can't be 8. 8 can be next to 1, 2, or 3 on a German whisper line. And it can't be 1 or 2 because we already have a 1, 2 in the box. So this must be 3. Which means this cannot be 3 here. Therefore, this can't be 7 because these two digits must add up to 10. What left we have here? We have 5, 6, and 7 left in row 6. But this can't be 7. What about the remainder of... One of these two digits is a 5, so the rest of the box cannot contain a 5, because this is 6 or 7, and this is 5, 6, or 7 here. So the remaining digits in the box have to be 4, 6, 7, 9. Well, 6 can't be here. 4 can't be here. This is 7 or 9. This is 4. No 6 is possible, but it can't be 7 either. So this is 4 or 9 here. And the remaining digits in row 4 have to be 4, 5, 7, 9. But 9 can't be here. So this is 4, 5, 7. That's possibilities. Okay. If we had 2 highs on the end here, the problem is we already have 6, 7, and 8 accounted for in this box. Therefore, there's only one high digit left. Therefore, this must be a high digit, and it must be a 9. So this is 9, this is 7. And the reason why we knew that, again, is because we already had 3 high digits accounted for here. So this can't be high there, which would make that low, which would make that high. Because so we would have 5 highs in a box, which is not allowed. So that's why this had to be a 9. And this can't be 7 anymore. This 7 means this can't be 7. What else do we have? Next to this has to be a low. And the only low left is a 4. This has to be 1, 2, or 3, but we don't know which one it is. Actually, we do know which one it is. Because the 2 can't be here because of this 2. Whereas the 2 possible in this box, it has to be here. So this is 2. This is a 1, 3 pair here. This 4 eliminates 4 from being here. So this is 6 and this is 4. Remaining digits in row 2 are 5, 6, and 9. 6 cannot be here, though. Where is a 6 in row 2? It must be here. So this is 6. This is a 5, 9 pair, but this can't be 5 because of that 5. So this is 9, which makes that a 5. Remaining digits in this box have to be 7 and 8. This can't be 7 because of this 7, so this is 8, this is 7. The remaining digits in column 4 are 2 and 3, but either of them can be 2 or 3. Remaining digits in column 5 are 4, 6, and 9. Okay. Remaining digits in row 1 are 1, 3, and 5. But this can't be 3, this can't be 1, this could be any of them. This 6 means this can't be 6. So this must be 4, which makes that a 9, which makes that 7. Which makes this not 7. This 4 means this can't be 4, so this is 6. This 6 means this can't be 6, so this is 7, which makes this a 3 to add up to 10. Because these two digits must add up to 10, because you must be part of a set that adds up to 10. So that's 3. This can't be 3 then, because of the 3 in the column, so this is 1, this is 3. This can't be 7. This can't be 6, so this must be a 5 here, which makes this a 6. What set of digits can add... how to do this? The way to explain this, okay. This cell must add up with other digits to add up to 10. Well... if it's 2 digits, it would have to be 4, but we can't have a 4 here, so it can't be 2 digits. If it's 3 digits, it would have to be a 1, and that's the only possibility there. Otherwise, it's not part of a set of 10. That set that adds up to 10, shall we say. So this is 1. This can't be 1 or 5. That makes this a 3, which makes that a 5, which makes that a 1. We celebrate because we know we're getting close to solving this. This must be next to a 3. It can't be 8. On a German whisper line, so this is a 9, which makes this a 1 to add up to 10. Because again, every digit on a 10 line must be part of a set that adds up to 10. So this is 1, this is 5. This has to be 7 then because of the digits. This can't be 9. We have a 4, 6 remaining in row 7. But this can't be 6 because of that 6. So this must be 4, which makes that a 6. None of these are 6s. Remaining digits in column 9 are 2 and 8. Remaining digits in column 8 are 3 and 7. But this can't be 7 because of that 7. So this must be 3, which makes that a 7. This 3 eliminates that 3. So this must be 2 and 3. This 2 eliminates that 2. So that's 8 and 2. Now we have 5 and 6 remaining here in column 7. In column 3, what do we have remaining? We have 5 and 9. Okay. What's remaining in column? This looks like yeah, this has to be 3 digits adding up to 10 here. But let's continue. What are the possibilities here? It's 1, 4, 5, and 8 here. And this can't be 1, this can't be 8. Where is the 1 in column 2 possible? It has to be here. So this is 1, no matter what. Therefore, this is 3 digits adding up to 10. We know then this has to be 1, 4, and 5 as the possibilities. It cannot be 9 here because then these two would add up to 10, but this would be separated. So that doesn't work. So this is 5, this is 4, which makes that a 5, which makes that a 4. This 5 eliminates that 5, so that's an 8, which makes that a 5. This 5 eliminates this 5, so this is 9. It also eliminates that 5, so that's a 6, 5. This 4 is eliminated by that 4, so this is a 9, this is a 4, and that leaves us with an 8 and a 6. Wow, a big congrats on lifting all the fog. Great job. Nice setting, though. It's a nice, approachable puzzle with 10 lines, which is not very common, so that's why I chose, again, that's why I chose this puzzle. To get you sort of acclimated to how 10 lines work here. And this was a very easy rendition of that. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Learn How to Sudoku, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.